As UK snacks manufacturer, Eat Natural explains, the past 18 months have presented the business with a number of challenges. But under new ownership with Ferrero, the company is pushing forward, refining and developing new ranges of snacks for the healthier eating market.
Obviously, last year we had quite a big downfall in the shops are not trading, people are not out there. So our product is designed to be eaten on the go, and of course, if you're not going anywhere, then you're not going to be eating products like ours all the time. So, but we managed to get a balance. So, although turnover in bars reduced a little bit, breakfast cereals, which is another part of our business, increased because there are a lot of people who are eating at home, breakfast at home. So overall, there was a decline, which is now seeing quite a significant uplift again now. So as we see we're coming through the worst of the pandemic, and as people are returning to work, we can see that people are returning back to this kind of product. And I think that what's also happening, in fact, is that because Eat Natural is predominantly a healthier eating bar, I think we're going to see a greater resurgence back into this. So whereas I think consumers have actually had healthier eating habits while they've been sort of isolating at home, and possibly when you go back, you want to have more products that reflect the kind of thing that you've been eating while you're at home. So I think we're seeing a quite a steep and fast return to normality.
That's very encouraging to hear indeed. And in terms of some of the challenges that you've been posed during the pandemic, can you talk to me about how manufacturing has been impacted over the past year to 18 months?
It's been a very, very, very difficult period in terms of the manufacturing, and continues to be today, by the way. It's not just what's been happening in the past. Of course, we've made every effort. You know, we have very stringent controls in COVID protection on the manufacturing floor. So in the bakery, we have a lot of people who are dedicated to making sure that everyone fills the protocols that were set. A lot of people looking after the welfare of all of the staff. However, today, the situation is still difficult. You know, we have a lot of staff who are getting pinged, who are being forced to isolate, whether or not that they are actually suffering with COVID. There are a lot of people suffering with this second, third wave that we're going through at the moment as well. But on top of that, we also have the situation that every manufacturer is facing, which is about you can't get hold of staff. So total staff numbers are down, and that's a very difficult thing to cope with. And that's a mixture of Brexit and COVID. Optimistic because we're not forecasters in what could happen, but we're making all the provisions we can in order to try to cope with what we know. So we're having to work with what we're being given, and we have some very good people on board now, and that's one very, very big advantage of being with Ferrero, is that they have the resource available in terms of recruitment power and the way you motivate and incentivize staff in order to work with us, in order to try to make sure that the staff are in place. So I think we have a good plan ahead in order to get the staff back in order to make the bars to fulfill the it's a perfect storm really, and we have a big spike in demand, and we need to make sure we have the staff in place to fill that.
The acquisition from Ferrero there, how can you best sum up how that will positively impact the business?
I think it's the most important thing that we could have done for the business. I mean, the business has been going and been run independently for 25 years, and it was important for the longevity with the new rules that are coming in place from HFSS, with the significantly increased competition, with the amount of investment that the business needed in terms of its manufacturing and its future, and its opportunity. You know, I think we as co-founders had taken it to a place that we probably couldn't take it much further on our own, and we needed somebody who had the reach and the power and the belief in the business and the honesty and integrity to run the business in the way that the business has always been run, but just on a bigger scale, and in order to be able to do that properly. And that's what Ferrero has brought to the party, and they're doing a fantastic job of actually living the talk that they said that they would do. So I think the brand's in very good hands, has a very strong future, and has and we'll be able to fill the opportunity that it actually has in its power.
That's excellent here. No, thank you for that. And just for those who may not be familiar with the company in itself here, it's the foundation. I really like the story, the fact that you founded the business with your childhood friend. So can you tell me about some of its origins? Thank you.
But it was, we started Eat Natural in I think, what, 25-ish years back. Yeah, it started with a friend of mine who I've known since I was about 7 or 8 years old. And the business started because we believed that we could make something which was healthier to eat or better for you to eat without any additives, preservatives, which at that time, 20 something years back, it wasn't a really big thing. Obviously now, there's such a large move towards natural eating, towards organic foods, towards eating products without any rubbish in it. At that time, it wasn't that case. So we were very, snack products were extremely packed full of ingredients that you don't really understand. You don't want to be able to eat. And we wanted to make something very simple and very straightforward. So we took nuts, dried fruit, bound them together with syrup, and made it into a bar. And it was as simple as that. And we've kept through that same promise all the way through our journey, to make a product that was easy to understand, simple ingredients, products that you can see because you can actually see the product through the clear packaging. And so the marketing and the story tells itself throughout this whole picture.
And I understand that the initial foundation came from a moment of going off traveling together in Australia. Was it just a sort of a light bulb moment that you had that there spotted a gap in the market there?
I don't know about spotting a gap in the market. No, I don't think so. I don't think there's anything which is as business minded as that. No, we wanted to make a bar that we saw something that we liked the taste of, and that was what was made. We actually didn't think that it was going to be made into a particularly big business. We were not doing anything particularly useful in our lives. We had other interests. We knew we wanted to work together, and then we thought, well, okay, this is a nice product. What a wonderful thing to be able to have. It tasted delicious, and it was so different to anything else that was on the market. But it's also a massive challenge to sell a product at that time that was selling for maybe twice the price of a Mars bar. To get people to upgrade from buying a confectionery product into a much more expensive natural eating product was extremely difficult. But so no, I wouldn't describe it as a light bulb moment. We saw it as something that we liked and we believed in, and we wanted to spend our time and energy working in this. And it slowly began, as we showed it to customers, we had some very positive feedback. So that we knew we were doing something which could just sustain ourselves. And all we were looking for is something that we could, pay our bills.
Absolutely. And since that moment in the mid-late 90s there, you've seen the company grow to employ, I believe you have around 250 people working for you now. How proud are you of that level of growth over that time?
I guess I personally don't look at it in this way in terms of how proud we are of what we're doing. I think it's been a very important, very good journey. I think that we have created and not just we, it's the entire team that have actually created a product that we feel resonates with what's happening now. And we've done that because everyone buys into the concept. Everyone buys into the dream of what Eat Natural is, what it could possibly be, and what we're trying to do in the market, which is to create an alternative, healthier eating product, which is actually very affordable now.
And just to close on there, you've mentioned it already, but some of your aspirations for the future, how do you see the business most notably expanding in the next 2 to 3 years? Is there any particular projects you can talk about right now?
I think the first priority is to make sure that we're still so young into the new ownership, and to make sure that everyone is transferred across properly, the business is functioning properly, that our priority is to make sure that the business is handed over in a very structured, organized, well-run way. We need to get over the current challenges of Brexit and COVID. So I think that's a priority at the moment, stabilizing. although we're extremely ambitious, we're also very much rooted in making sure that what we have now is done properly, and that's our priority to start off with, and also setting together a very sensible and well-structured growth plan.